everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations, and I have another design team project that I wanted to share with you. This is my card collection that I'm making with Midnight Kiss. I have been very bad this Christmas, and almost every Christmas for years and years and years I have made my own Christmas cards, and this year I didn't do any. I had a bunch left over from previous years that we ended up using because I got so behind that I was just like, I don't know where the time went. I cannot believe Christmas is actually coming up in a couple days. I'm so behind. So I didn't do Christmas cards, but I am going to do some New Year's Eve cards to kind of try and make up for it. So I thought this was a perfect idea. So for other people like me who have procrastinated a little too long, this is a great project. So I wanted to share with you some cards that are not my design, but they have been around. These designs have been around for a while, and I have looked at multiple videos. So I don't know who originated them. I'm really sorry about that, but I will totally admit they are not my design. So, but I did want to play with the designs, and I thought that they made absolutely stunning New Year's Eve cards, or New Year's, Happy New Year cards. So I'm using Midnight Kiss by Country Craft Creations. This is just a beautiful exclusive collection that is gorgeous. This is my third project using these, and I have actually one more that I really would like to do because I think I have enough papers to do it. So it's just gorgeous. So you get all of the double-sided papers, but in this collection, along with journaling cards and the cut-aparts that we're used to seeing with her exclusive collections, this one also has added pockets. So super fun to play with. I love this collection, and I love the colors. It's just gorgeous. You guys have to get this. Super beautiful papers. So it's called Midnight Kiss. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let me show you what we're going to make. So we're going to make 4 different cards with this. Oh, I have to show you this. I showed this in another video too, but my best friend Jackie gave me these paperweights that were meant to put pictures underneath, but I've been using them to decorate my desk, and I've been cutting out papers to decorate my desk for the holidays. So I'm going to have a collection of paperweights that will sit pretty on my desk, and they will be, with the exclusive collection. So I just had to show you that. So I had some leftovers, and I just thought he was absolutely stunningly handsome with his car and everything. So it's just gorgeous. And then this couple, I mean, come on, really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So little decorations, I just had to show you that. So the first card is that we're going to make is a column card, a 4-panel column card. So this one's fun because, like, you have the front of the card. I added some flowers and bling from my collection. I used Artisan cardstock in black, and then I also used the gold mirror cardstock that is available at Country Craft Creations. I mean, does that not make the project just scream elegance? And then, so you turn it, and I used the cut-aparts from the collection, and I just put them on the mirrored paper, and I just thought it was really pretty. And then the paper from the collection with all the confetti and everything, which I have kind of used on my other projects. Look at this, how gorgeous. So it flips like this, and then on the last page, I used the panel that had the song music in it, and I put a piece of natural Artisan cardstock so that you could write your sentiment there. So the fun part about this tower card is that you can display it like so. So when it is on your mantle or whatever, you can get this really cool 3D thing. So as you can tell, this is where I'm headed. I'm doing 3D cards. So this is the first one that we are going to make. The second one here, this one is, what is it called? It's called like a W fold card, and it's really super cool. So I used a piece of the pattern paper and then one of the border strips here, used my own ribbon around it just to tie a simple bow, and left the front pretty plain. But then when you open it up, check it out. So we have this beautiful pop out here, and it's called the W fold because of the banner piece that we're going to put through here. I used the cut-aparts from the collection and backed them on antique gray Artisan cardstock, and I just thought that really tied in with the silver in the paper collection. So then I used a piece that was left over, punched a tag, tied a ribbon, and then, I don't know if you can see this, there's a little gold star back here. I had a punch in my hundreds of punches that I have from way back in the day. I did a star to make a stopper, and then that's where you can put your sentiment back there. Again, use some flowers and some bling from my collection, but is that not the cutest thing sitting on your mantle? Beautiful. Left the back plain. So that's card number 2. Card number 3 is called a Z fold card, and it's because it does fold out and look like a Z from the top, and it's layered and has this 3D looking thing going on the front. So I just loved that. So on the front, I had a balloon punch from, yes, back in the day, and I used some of the mirrored gold and silver, and I punched out a bunch of balloons, and I added some string, some beautiful fibers from my collection, and then I had a bling that I put in the middle of the clock here. And then when you open it up, you have the panel here, excuse me, that I put one of the, I punched out a piece of the pattern paper and then put another piece of bling here. And then here is one of the pockets that come with the collection. So when you look at the collection, when I showed you, there's a pocket that you can cut out and score and then create a pocket on the back page, and then the tag from the collection to write your sentiment on. So I just punched a couple holes and tied a pretty fiber through it and just had it. So when it's folded up, it looks like this. So I did cover all of the back of it because, you know, it is a 3D kind of card. So on this panel here, I punched out the clock, add another piece of bling, and then back that on a circle of the gold. And I put more balloons back here because the back of the gold and silver mirror paper is white. I didn't want it to be white, so I just added more balloons back there just to kind of cover that up. But isn't that cute? It's a super fun card. It's super easy to do. Just super, super easy to do. I'll show you how to do that. And then the last card, which is the most complicated card, is a box card. I've heard it called a box card, a box pop-up card, a Z-fold box card. It has a lot of different names, but it's another fun 3D card that's really fun. When you look at it, it just has that total 3D thing. And then when you open it up, it has that box where you layer a bunch of different things, and it just has that beautiful movement to it. So I'm going to show you this one. This one is the most difficult one to make. So that'll be, we'll save that one for last, but it is really fun. And so what I did on the front was used one of the cut aparts. I popped it up with some of the black foam tape, used some more of my balloon punch outs to kind of match and mimic the balloons in the papers. I fussy cut out this couple and put them on the front, and then they were kind of overlapping the other couple on the papers. So since I only needed really the tops of them, I put them on the little piece behind, and then balloons behind them, and I fussy cut those out of the paper and then just layered them together and then glued them onto the panel. So we have that beautiful, they're dancing in the balloon kind of look. Covered it all the way, and then on the back used again one of the pockets from the cut aparts in the paper collection. I did one of the antique gray tags to put your sentiment on in the back. So that is card number 4. So let's go ahead and start with the easiest card, which is our tower card. This one is so super simple. I have been wanting to try this forever and forever, and I finally did it, and I just absolutely love it. It's just super cute. So there's a lot of ways to do this. This card measures 5 by 7. Yep, 5 by 7, and they will lay, you know, horizontal. So you're going to need a couple pieces of paper. So you will need one for the tower or the column that is 5 by 4.5, and then you will need your panels that are going to be 5 tall by 3.5 wide, okay? And you'll need 4 of those. And I'm just going to show you the construction of them. We're not going to actually decorate them and everything because I showed you in, you know, looking at them how we're going to decorate them. I'm just going to show you the construction of the cards, and then you can go to town playing with this. So you're going to need, I'm going to use score tape for the tutorials just because it's going to be a little bit quicker. When you get your tower piece, let's start with that. This is the 4.5 by 5. You're going to put your scoreboard. You're going to score at 1, 2, 3, and 4. The panels, and again, you'll need 4 of those that are 5 by 3.5. You won't score those at all. So then when you get this, you're just going to fold and burnish all of the score lines, and then grab your score tape. And then if I finish these cards, I'll tell you what, I will put them in pictures at the end of the video. I will add those, okay? So put score tape on the 1/2-inch tab, all right? Fold that over, and then just fold this in half. Creates the tower, like so, okay? So you basically have a 1-inch tower, okay? Then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put score tape on all of the panels. And I'm going to go kind of close to the edge, like so, on all 4 of them. All right, so start with the right side. We'll make it a lot easier. And then you're just going to take your panel, you're going to lay it right close to the score line, not in the score line, and line that up and stick it down. And then you're going to take the tape off the other side and do the same thing. Right to the score line, line it up, stick it down, turn it over, and repeat. And that is literally all there is to that. This card is so simple to make. It's crazy simple. Make a really cute 5x7 card. So there you go. That is the card. So then just go ahead and go around, and then, you know, kind of make sure your burnishes are good. Make sure it's nice and folded so that it lays flat, and then you just go ahead and go to town decorating it. So I did make a front, so I did put bling and stuff on the front, but I left everything else without bling because it will have to lay flat like in an envelope, okay? On the last panel, I did add a place where you can write your sentiment. I did cover the back with some pattern paper, okay? So these panels, again, are 3.5 by 5, so I cut mine at 3 3/8 by 4 7/8, and then these little side panels here that are created by the backs of the panels are 2.5 by 5. So you would go 4 7/8 by 2 3/8 to cover that, okay? And that's it. That's it. And then you get this super, super cute 3D card that is really fun to go ahead and display. All right, so that's the first card. This is the Pinwheel Tower card. So that one there. And then next, the card number 2 is this card right here, and it's the W fold card. All right, so again, this one opens up and it has that beautiful pop out like this. Super, super easy to do. The only thing you need to do is remember that you need to cover the inside of your card with pattern paper if you choose before you put down the mechanism, okay? So that is the one hint that I will give you right now. Do that before you do anything else, okay? And then you can decorate the fronts, of course, later. But you do have to know what you're going to put behind here first. So I'm not going to do that on this tutorial, but do remember to do that because these panels here will be stuck down, and you'll see that in just a second, okay? So let's make this one. This one is really easy to do. So the first thing you're going to need is a couple strips of paper. Now you're going to need one that's 11 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score this at 5 1/2, and that's going to give us our card face, okay? Simple like that. And then your mechanism here, you're going to put it in your scoreboard, and we're going to score at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4, okay? This is 11 inches by 1 3/4 inches. 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and at 8 1/2. Okay. So then we'll take this and we're going to score, or excuse me, fold accordion style. Okay. Make sure it's nice and lined up. All right. And then we have our card base. All right. So the inside of the card, now this is where you're going to want to put your pattern paper. Okay. Put your pattern paper on first. Then grab your ruler and we're going to center and we're going to glue the back of this down. And again, super easy, but really gives a wow factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to line this up and center it. And when we center this, I can't see it. When we center this, it will be at about, let's see, 7/8 inch up and down, right? Nope, I am wrong. 1 1/4 inch up and down, right? Did I get it right? Yep. 1 1/4 inch from the bottom, 1 1/4 inch from the top. And that will be your center. Okay. So let me see. My brain is just not working right. Okay, there. 7/8 inch from the center line. So if you put your ruler here, now that I've thoroughly confused you, let me unconfuse you. If you put your ruler here, center mark, it'll be at 7/8 inch from the center mark. From here to here, the top of the mechanism is 1 1/4 inch. Here to here is 1 1/4 inch. Okay. So then all you're going to do is fold it up. Put your glue on the back panel and then fold your card. Now remember, you do need to put your pattern paper on first because now you've got everything glued down. All right. And that's it. That's all there is to that mechanism. It's super simple, but it really does give a wow factor. Now, I used cut-aparts that I backed on Artisan cardstock to put on my panels. I did use mirrored cardstock on the fronts of the panels to kind of give another pop of wow to it, and then I just added my cut-aparts on top of that. So you could also, you know, cut little squares and put on here and then do, you know, however you want to do it. These squares here, if you were to go that route, measure 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. So you would need 4 of those to add, and then, you know, put pattern paper on the inside, however you wanted to do that. But that's pretty much that, the W fold card. And that's all you need. So then you could put, if you wanted to put a panel of paper here and then leave this white, you know, put a white piece of cardstock here and then do your sentiment here, you could do that. You could do like I did and put a tag behind everything where they could pull it out. I liked that idea because it's just another interaction and it's another pop of, you know, wow factor when they open up the card. So pretty simple, but really fun to do. So that is that card. That's card number 2. Card number 3 is super simple. Let me get this out of the way. Card number 3 was very simple as well. So this is the, the Z fold card. So it has that whole kind of interaction 3D kind of thing going on. And it's just, it's really a super pretty card. So basically to do that, the easiest thing to do, and this will give you actually 2 card bases, so you can get 2 cards out of this one. This is the steps you need to take. It's really pretty easy. So you need to get a piece of cardstock that's 9 by 12 inches. Okay. Then what you're going to do is put it in your scoreboard. After you cut it, 12 at the top, and you're going to score at 4 and at 8, okay? And that will score through both bases. So you'll have 2 cards coming out of this one piece of paper. So then what you're going to do is you're going to turn it and you're going to measure 5.5 inches on this end, and then turn it around, and then 5.5 inches on this end, make a mark, and then just connect the marks and cut that. That will give you 2 card bases, okay? So you'll have this one here, and then you'll have this one here, okay? So you'll have your bases, and then you just fold it so that it looks like this, okay? That's it. That's all there is to that. So to mat with pattern paper with these, I made some patterns. So I did some fiddling with this, and this is what I came up with that'll work really well. And so again, if you ever want to make and recreate this card, you'll have your patterns ready to go. And then you can just put this on your pattern paper and trace it out, and you can be done with it. So I cut a piece that's 3 3/4 by 3 7/8, so 3 7/8 tall, and I measured down 5/8 of an inch, made a tick mark, and then cut that corner off. And that gave me the perfect matting for the front panel. Okay. The second panel, the pattern 3 3/4 by 4 5/8 inch tall, cut down, make a tick at 5/8 of an inch, and then cut that to the corner, and then that will give you the perfect little panel with the perfect angle for matting that middle panel. The last panel, 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Again, go down 5/8 of an inch, and then angle that up and cut that out, and that will give you a pattern that will mat that particular piece perfectly. And then all you have to do is just turn these over once you get that corner cut off, and that will give you, you know, the pattern for the backs too. So that's all I did. So again, here's the, and again, this will all be in the descriptions too. I'm going to have all of this information in the descriptions as well. But that's how I cut my mats. And then just, you know, once you cut your mats out using your patterns, just dry fit them just to make sure that everything lines up good before you glue them down. But you should get the perfect angles for doing that. So then I used the pocket from the collection, and that's where I'm putting my sentiment on this one. And then I did decorate, because you do have to decorate kind of the back side of the card, at least this one, because when you fold it up, that's what's going to show. So but when you open it, you know, you're going to just want to decorate everything because it's just fun. So I just thought it was really pretty. So I used, you know, some string and some bling from my stash, but everything else was from Country Craft Creations. So I hope this all makes sense. So this is the Z-fold card. So this one is done. Let's go to the last one. Now this one is a little more complicated. This one's, I've seen it called a bunch of different things. Box card, box pop-up card, Z-fold pop-up box card. I mean, it's just, there's a box inside, and if you can see, there's like little dividers in there. And that's what your cutouts adhere to. And there's 3 of them. I only used 2 of them, but there's totally the room to put more in there. You can do as many or as little as you want. Now there's a couple things with this card. So if you want the whole thing covered, you have to do it in steps. And I did actually cut a few pieces of paper just so I could show you how this is going to go, because otherwise there's no way I'm going to be able to explain it. So I did do that. But I wanted the back covered up because there is going to be a mechanism going over the front and the back that I did want covered with pattern paper. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then the inner mechanism is actually just one piece of paper that's folded and adhered. And so I'm going to show you kind of a quick and easy way I thought of trying to get that worked out. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is cut a few pieces of cardstock. So you will need one piece that is going to be the card base, and then you're going to need a piece that's going to be the box base, and those are going to be scored both the same way. So you're going to put your 11 at the top. The card base is 4 1/4 by 11. Put the 11 at the top, score at 2 3/4 and at 5 1/2, and then take the box kind of cover, score it the same way. So this is 11 by, I can't see it where I'm sitting, 2 1/8. So you're going to score the same way at 2 3/4 and at 5 1/2. Okay, so these are going to create the card kind of base. Now the mechanism for the pop-up in the box is 11 inches by 2 1/8, right? Yeah, 2 1/8. And you're going to do a few more scores. So we're going to score at 7/8, 3 5/8, 4 1/8, 6 7/8, 7 3/8, and 10 1/8. Let me go over that again. 7/8, 3 5/8, 4 1/8, 6 7/8, 7 3/8, 10 1/8. Okay, so that's the scoring for this card. So let's start with the base, and we're going to just accordion fold that. Okay, and then we're going to accordion fold this. Okay, both of them get folded. They're scored the same. They get folded the same. All right, the difference is how we're putting them together. So you can see in this card the big pieces in the back and the smaller pieces in the front. It's opposite for the box part. Okay, so when you glue these down, the card's going to be like this, but the base is going to be like this, and this is how we're going to glue them down. Okay, we're not going to quite glue them yet, but this is just going to be how it's going to go. So you have kind of the orientation. Okay, let's set this off to the side for just a sec, and then let's go ahead and fold and burnish this guy. So this guy, you're going to start by folding the one tab to the front. Okay, and then this right here is going to be the part that we adhere in the card. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure this is how the orientation is going to go. That it's going to go like this. Okay, so then again, this one here, the 1/2 inch scores are the ones that are going to adhere and make the mechanism where you can put your goodies. Okay, and then this guy will score to the back, or fold to the back, I should say. All right, when you get done, you will have a piece that looks like this, and this is the mechanism. So these tabs here adhere inside of the box, and then this is where you add your little embellishments that pop up for your image. Okay, so where I put my couples and my balloons. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, and this is kind of how I figured out how to do this, kind of the easiest way to do this. Okay, so before we do anything, we really do need to cover this with pattern paper. All right, that's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to use the confetti because I like it. Like this. Okay, and then we're going to take our mechanism. We're going to add some score tape. And we're going to add score tape to all those pieces that I told you we were going to kind of glue down. And this is, I mean, a lot of times I just use glue on this. We're going to use score tape. So make sure you get it on the proper sides. Okay, so you can see when we fold it up, I've got my adhesive on those ends. That's what's going to glue inside. All right, so first thing, just take the tape off of this first part, and you're going to glue it right to the score, flush with the bottom. Okay, make sure everything's lined up, and that's going to adhere down. Okay, so you'll have this. Okay, and this is why you want to put the pattern paper down first, because we're going to glue on top of this right now. Okay, then let's see. Yeah, I did do that. Okay, sorry, had a thought. All right, so the next thing that we're going to have to glue down is this piece right here. So I'm going to fold it flat so it looks like this. So can you see this? I'm going to fold this just like that. I'm going to take this tape off, and then like this whole piece right here is a book. Okay, so I've got it folded flat. I hope you can see that. I want that 1/2 inch piece right here unglued. This is the piece that's going to attach. We need that space. So I'm just going to, since I folded it flat, I'm just going to lay this down just like that. And then when I fold it back up, do you see what's happened? It's actually put in the perfect spot. Pretty cool, huh? So the next thing we're going to do is grab this piece here, and I'm going to just glue this down just like I did the front, but I'm going to glue this on the back. So we've got our long piece that's going to go in the front. The short piece is going to adhere to the back. We've got to attach that. I hope I am making this clear. It is fiddly. It is a little more complicated, but it is well worth it. Okay, so this piece here is going to attach to that. Okay, so when you fold your card, it's going to attach to here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take the tape off, and we're going to see how our card is right now. We're just going to fold it down. Whoops, making sure that we don't stick down till we need it. And then that's going to glue right there. Okay. All right. So then, as you can tell, what we're going to do is take the sticky tape off, and we're going to fold that down and glue that down there. Then this will glue here, and then we're done. I really hope that made sense. It's a little, I told you it was complicated. I told you. And then glue that down the front, and then voila, you have your deal. Okay, so again, what you're going to do is first adhere this piece down, fold it flat, take the tape off, fold it so it adheres down, add this piece, fold it so that it adheres this tab here. Okay, take the tape off, and when you fold it down, it will naturally glue where it's supposed to go. And then voila, there's your card. Ta-da, all done. And it folds nice and flat. This is the front of your card. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I want to cover the back of this, but when I did this one here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I did one piece of paper, and what I did was I cut a slit to go over the mechanism where it joins, and then that way it covered up this piece right here where it joined. So I took my paper that's going to mat it. It is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to put it, because I want this to be the top. So I'm going to put it in upside down, and I'm going to score at 2 3/4, and I'm going to go about halfway up. Okay. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this, but I'm going to go about halfway up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that score out. And when I say cut that score out, I mean cut that score out. So you're going to make like a little area and only go about halfway up, and then take that out. So you're going to have a slit in your paper. Now, that should slip right over the mechanism and completely like be totally perfectly aligned with your card base. Okay, so then you can see in the bottom, I mean, it just goes right over and it just looks like it was meant to live there, and you can't see the mechanism here. So then we're just going to glue that down. So when I glued it down, I did the panel that goes on the inside first. And I slipped that in there, trying really hard not to get glue everywhere, and lined it up, made sure everything was where I wanted it, and then pressed that guy down. And then I went back with my glue and went underneath and finished gluing. And that is how I covered that. Now, that's a pretty fancy way of doing it. If you want to do it a more simple way, you could do, one panel here and one panel here. You could leave the back totally blank. It's completely up to you. So for this one, I'm going to take a piece of paper, and which is what I did when I made my card, and did the confetti. Just glue that down to the front. And then, so for this one here, I added the fussy cut people on the front here. And then I did the cut apart that goes over kind of the joint. So however you want to do that, but that's how I did that. So that is that card. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know, and I would be more than happy to answer them. Like I said, it is a little bit more complicated, but I think it's well worth it as far as, there's not a lot of fiddly pieces, because I saw some tutorials in the past where, there's different pieces, which kind of got to be a mess too, but I just thought the one piece where you just kind of fold it all together works really good. So once you kind of get the idea of where everything's going to fit, it just absolutely makes it pretty simple to put it all together, and you don't have to fuss with trying to undo pieces of tape while it's in the box and all that stuff. So I just thought this was a really cool method of doing it. So then you can just decorate it however you want from here. So that is my fourth card. So that's the box card or box pop-up, Z-fold box card, whatever you want to call it. So there's that. So that's my tutorial for my New Year's Eve cards. And if you are procrastinators this year like me, then these are going to be right up your alley, and you'll still get some cards out this year and won't feel so guilty about not doing them after doing them for years and years and years. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, again, let me know. This is Midnight Kiss by Country Craft Creations, and it's a beautiful collection. I hope you enjoy it. So thanks a lot for watching, and stay tuned. We have a New Year's Eve crop coming up, and I will be doing a tutorial. All of our designers are going to be doing tutorials, and the theme is all about me, and they're going to be projects that you are going to make for you. Something that you're going to want to make and keep and use and love and just have fun with. So thanks for watching. I will be back with more tutorials. Have a wonderful Christmas and a very happy New Year. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.